What is up, everybody? Dakota Storms coming in with another update, and this one is going to be a large weather update today. I took tons and tons of notes, so I hope you guys really appreciate that. If you want a little sneak peek at these notes that I took, well, take a look right here. I got two whole pages of notes, and obviously I'm gonna bring my own bring in my own, I guess, input on each little bit of things too. So just to let you guys know about that. As always, I'm going to wait to really get into the middle of everything until there's some people in here. And my plan for when the chat starts to come in, basically going to sporadically, maybe every couple of minutes, read over a couple of them, or just when everybody starts to say hi, or whenever there's a good breaking point for me, just I don't know, catch my breath, read some chats, tell everybody hello, stuff like that. But yeah, if you guys have heard, there is so much weather going on right now, and luckily I'm here to cover it for you guys, so you guys don't have to look it up at all. You just gotta listen here for a little bit if that's exactly what to do. Um, but yeah, like I said, wait a little bit more until we start to see a couple people in here, because then usually once we see like 5, then it jumps to 20, and then I can get going here. So, but so once we get to that, once I see somebody in here, that's when we're gonna get started. And I will also get into a parking spot in the meantime. So can get up and running. Okay, there we go. I see 2 people in here. So that's my indication to start getting one about all the weather going on. And I tell you what, guys, this is going to be a little bit of a extensive video. I took a lot of information from a lot of different places to get you guys the absolute best content I could possibly get you guys. So with that being said, now that we've gotten through all that, it is time to get into the weather, because I see some people in here. So, if that's what you guys came for, I'm going to do exactly that for you guys. So let me get into a parking spot. Here we go. Now I'll get started. That was a terrible park job. Okay. So to start you guys off, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if this is the type of content that you guys love to see. But with that being said, I'm going to get straight into it. So today there is a 10% hatched risk for tornadoes, and we are in an enhanced risk for many areas of the country. There's a 30% hatched wind risk and a 30% hatched risk for hail. And today there is a potential for crazy tornadoes. Reed Timmer was saying a lot of different things about today, and I will actually get to that later. Hi, can we be friends? I'm special needs and 22 years old from Georgia, but I have to go right now. Sure. I have community from all over the place, so sure thing. Major cities impact for today is looking like Oklahoma City in Oklahoma, Tulsa, Wichita, Kansas, Topeka, and Norman, Oklahoma. These are the places for the big tornado risks for today, that 10% hatch risk. And today is looking a lot like a boom or bust setup. Either we're going to see pretty much nothing, or we're going to see some really big and damaging tornadoes coming from I believe it was 2 supercellular storms in specific. But if you guys are curious about the significant wind and hail, who's under the gun for that? Well, you're in luck, because I have all that type of information too. Kansas City, Missouri, Overland Park, Kansas, Kansas City, Topeka, Kansas, and Olathe, Kansas is under that 30% significant wind threat. And the 30% significant hail threat is Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, Tulsa, Oklahoma, Wichita, Kansas, Topeka, Kansas, and Norman, Oklahoma. Now, what I wanted to do a little bit is what the Storm Prediction Center is saying about these storms. So I'm basically going to give you guys the summary of what they gave online. You can find this yourself, but if you want to hear it from me, well, that's exactly what I'm going to do for you guys. The SPC says rapid, intense thunderstorm development should occur this evening over parts of the central southern plains. A few supercells with the risk for very large hail and strong tornadoes appear possible, particularly across central Oklahoma into eastern Kansas. A line of thunderstorms should also pose a threat for severe damaging winds across eastern Kansas and western Missouri tonight. So obviously, um, basically what this is saying is watch out, be ready for anything to pop up on the radars. As with the type of situation that we have tonight, something that could pop up in one of these environments that are very juicy in the tornado ingredients, it could pop off and go ballistic. So if you're in these areas, any little blip could suddenly turn into a very dangerous situation. Now, one of the things that I really want to, I will actually read that really quick. Tim Higram, or Hiham, sorry, I'm not too good with pronunciations. He says, "Where are you located?" I am actually located in Bismarck, North Dakota. I don't want to cause any confusion. I'm not chasing these storms right now, but there is some very interesting stuff going on in North Dakota weather right now, and I will actually cover that in probably about 3 or 4 minutes because we are facing a winter storm, um, and that is definitely something interesting that I will be talking about momentarily. But now I will get into what Reed Timmer is saying about this severe weather setup for today. Um, he says tornado outbreak increasingly likely North Texas, Oklahoma, eastern Kansas. Forecast models continue to trend toward a high-end tornado environment this evening ahead of a dry line in Oklahoma, Kansas, into North Texas. Short fuse models continue to show supercells erupting off the dry line in Oklahoma and southern Kansas this evening. And finally, long track tornado potential appears highest across western into central and eventually eastern Oklahoma, where the instability axis is the thickest. It's possible that a couple of dominant supercells could initiate off the western Oklahoma dry line and approach the OKC metro this evening with the potential for strong to violent tornadoes. So basically, there is a lot of factors that are going to go into whether we see some big, strong tornadoes today. One of them that I've seen a lot of is the cap. The cap is a big focal point of today. If the cap comes into play today, it will be a bust situation, but if the storms break the cap and are rather unaffected by them, that is where we're going to be in a very dangerous situation for today. Tim, once again, thanks for commenting. He says, I grew up in Mobridge, South Dakota in the 60s. I've lived in Texas since the early 70s. Yeah, and see, like if you're in Texas, you're definitely used to this type of situations, weather, hurricanes, tornadoes, everything like that. But this is definitely something. If you are a person who's been through some of these tornadoes before, that definitely shouldn't change your perspective on these type of events. Just do everything that you can to you and your family to safety, and make sure everyone around you, if they need help, to help them. Obviously, since I'm in North Dakota, we definitely don't get nearly as much tornadoes as you guys further south or further east to us, but we definitely can still get that type of weather. Although I've only been really close to one tornado in my life, and it was the EF3 tornado in July 2009. If you ever want to look up a really interesting tornado, look up the 789 tornado in Dickinson, ND. Additionally, I did kind of mention that I would be talking about this too. Additionally, North Dakota and Minnesota and parts of South Dakota and I believe whichever one is underneath Minnesota. I can't remember for some reason the one underneath Minnesota, which is crazy, but whatever that one is, we are all under a threat for a winter storm. It is more so near the North Dakota Minnesota border and going into Minnesota. That's the biggest risk, I would say, and a little bit west of the North Dakota border is, I would say, where you can see the highest accumulation. But I suppose I should go over all the advanced type of stuff for this snowstorm coming up here. We did already get touched by some of it today. It's just been kind of snow and rain mixture throughout the day, and it's just gonna kind of during the night we're gonna be hit through another system, and it will start to get a little bit more crazy once again. So basically, uh, tonight the second wave of snow mostly impacting central and eastern North Dakota, western or Minnesota. Winter storms, winter mornings of areas like Jamestown, North Dakota, Fargo, North Dakota, while Bismarck, North Dakota is in the winter weather advisory. Additionally, we are expecting here in Bismarck, we are expecting 3 to 6 inches, where James is expecting 5 to 11 inches, and Fargo is expecting 4 to 10 inches. So also wet snow may not accumulate that much. Now Tim says, we listened to KFYR 550 in the 60s. We had a tornado close to Mobridge in the 60s, Iowa. Yeah, tornadoes are definitely a type of thing. Like they're cool and all if they're in the open fields and no one's really at risk, but it's definitely where it starts to get like concerning, when it's starting to go through the cities. And interesting about KFYR, and I actually job shadowed for them about two summers ago. Basically, Kevin Lawrence was showing me everything about KFYR, everything that goes behind, everything about like weather forecast like that. It was a really awesome experience. Definitely one I'll never forget. Hopefully, one day I can actually work for a company like KFYR. Either that or just any type of weather reporting company, while also storm chasing, obviously, because that is probably one of my biggest passions. No, it is my biggest passion in life. So anything to do something like that would be awesome. And speaking of Kevin Lawrence, I actually have some excerpts from some Facebook posts that he made when regarding the winter storm that we're going to be experiencing from that we experienced today and are going to be experiencing through tomorrow. I believe the most of the winter storms expire around 7 o'clock Central Time tomorrow. So with that being said, I'll go over exactly what he has to say. Key things to remember: 1, sun angle is high, so the sun's energy will melt the snow quicker on contact than the ground, except when the snow is heavy in nature. 2, the ground itself is relatively warm considering mild days lately. Since our weather has been so nice and it's been like 40s, 50s, the ground is very warm. And so a lot of times that means the ground has to cool down to a level where the snow will actually stick. So that'll at that warm level. And 3, any rain will also cut down snow totals. So also the rain mixture with the snow will bring down the snow totals because the rain does tend to melt the snow a little bit, and we could, depending on how cold it gets tonight, we could be looking at quite a bit of ice. But I will have to check because I believe it's going to get right below freezing, about the 31 degrees here in Bismarck. So I'll definitely keep an eye on that. And also, number 4 from Kevin Lawrence, it's best to focus on the moisture content, not inches of snow. Over 1/2 inches of moisture, mostly east of US 83, and drops off west quickly. Little, if any, near Williston. So basically what this is saying is a lot of these areas on the western border of North Dakota, like areas like Williston, Dickinson, they may not get nearly as much snow as they'd like because they are having drought conditions dominate those type of areas. There's, I believe it's just north of Dickinson where there's a extreme drought ongoing, and it's not looking like it's going to end anytime soon because I believe I don't know, the systems just keep missing. And Tim also says, K Fire, something's burning. Logo in the 60s. Iowa south of. Okay, Iowa is south of Minnesota. Okay, yeah. See, that's what my gut was saying, but my geography skills are not the greatest right now. I'm doing everything to try to memorize the states better and better. And with all this type of weather forecasting, I will get better with that. But I didn't want to accidentally say Iowa and that to be like something completely different. So that was my thought process with that. I appreciate the help with getting me the state that's underneath Minnesota. So I believe Iowa is going to have chunks of it that are going to get some snow too. And we've had a couple 90s already, yeah, with the heat. I know there's been a couple different types of heat waves that have made its way in. North Dakota in specific was actually just in a very big heat wave where we reached around 65, 66, which is, I believe it's 20 to 30 degrees above average for this time of year for us. Usually we're around 40s, 45s. So to get to that level of temperature was kind of really nice. Um, and that's also why the ground is so warm too, since we've had such nice weather. And it will make the snow a lot harder to actually accumulate on the ground. But believe it or not, I still have a lot more for you guys because this is not the weather that we have to talk about, believe it or not. Because I really wanted to talk about the severe weather threat for tomorrow, because tomorrow they've already issued a moderate risk for some areas, and that this is going to be a tornado-oriented moderate risk. So definitely keep your eyes on that. And now I will go over the advanced type of stuff for this threat tomorrow. So it says continued major severe weather threat, moderate 4 out of 5 risk. And as I said, it is a tornado-oriented moderate risk. And it's a 10% significant severe risk areas. That's in Memphis, Tennessee, Evansville, Indiana, Clarksville, Tennessee, Jackson, Tennessee, and Jonesboro. I believe that's Arkansas. Large areas of 30% hatched risk for both wind and hail, with both of them having at least 20 million Americans at risk for the significant wind and hail. Also with the tornadoes, I believe there's about at least 4 million that are in that 15% hatched risk area too. So you guys really got to watch out for this. Obviously, right now we're focusing on today mostly, but do not sleep on tomorrow. And I actually have the SPC outlook for tomorrow. It says numerous severe storms are likely on Wednesday across the southern Great Lakes, Mid-Mississippi Valley, and North Texas into the Arctics. Severe wind gusts, very large hail, and strong tornadoes are possible. Note, day 2 risks can certainly upgrade, and some specifics will change, but be prepared regardless for whatever happens, whether it shifts slightly to the east or to the west. Just be ready for anything. Also, I will also do a pretty extensive update on the Wednesday severe weather threat tomorrow. I will probably take a lot of other things that people have said, like Reed Timmer, Ryan Hall, y'all, or other storm chasers like Adam Lucille or Jaden Poppenheim, or even guys like Max Velocity, anything like that. Because I believe that will be needed, and there's a chance that I go live tomorrow for when the storms start to hit, just to kind of get people informed if I have any viewers in those areas. Once again, I remember the blizzard in 66 in Mobridge. Severe chances here in San Antonio Friday. Actually, yeah, I have seen that. That actually leads me to my next point. There is a large day 3, 4, and 5 slight risks already issued. It's slowly moving southeast as the days progress. It's kind of like one big storm, just slowly kind of going like this and slowly moving down that way. And basically, almost everybody in this like eastern chunk of the country is going to be affected by one of these days coming up here. And hopefully after the day 3, 4, and 5 risks, severe weather does calm down a little bit. Let's hope. But it has been extremely, extremely active over the last week or so. I believe this is day 3 or 4 in a row where we've had at least an enhanced risk. And tomorrow the trend will continue, and we'll see if our day 3 does continue with that trend also. But also our day 3 appears to be mostly damaging wind threat and damaging hail threat. but the tornadoes cannot be ruled out. If anything, 2%, 5% risks will probably be put in line. Um, we will have to see. It's hard to tell with the specifics as of right now. But all day four, that's another point. Uh, Day four is not quite known with like the specifics, and it's likely to be several clusters of strong to severe storms. Obviously, again, these day 4 and 5 outlooks are subject to change a lot more because the radars get a little bit more accurate as the time goes on. Usually, when it's like day one, it is pretty good and accurate. As each day, as you add on another day, it will get a little bit less accurate, unfortunately. But it will. Luckily, we are still getting the general area of what's going on. And okay. Alrighty, so that is actually all the notes that I have. As you guys can see, I took a ton of notes just for you guys to bring to the stream. But now we'll actually talk a little bit about one other thing. There is definitely a chance that I go live tonight when that for the peak intensity of winter storm that comes through. We'll see what it's looking like tonight, or even maybe early morning stream, something like that. I'll just have to kind of roll with the punches, stuff like that. But yeah, just gonna kind of go with the flow and see if I should do a stream or not. Weather manipulation, my belief. Yeah, it definitely could be some coming into play here. I've had a couple viewers that have tossed around that idea before, and I definitely would have to look into something like that to be able to speak on it because I don't know much about it, to be honest. But there's a lot of things that I believe we don't know, and hopefully when I become a meteorologist, storm chaser, I will have all the answers that you guys have questions for. So, but yeah, also for the winter storm tonight, the live potential, I guess. I will also probably make a short or something like that. Post that too. Maybe even for the severe weather coming up. It's just all about kind of how things go, what I have time for, things like that. Obviously, I'll try to get you guys the best content I can, get the most information to you guys as I possibly can, and while also making sure I can answer any types of questions people have, whether it's related to what's going on in the world with weather or if it's just random stuff. I'll do everything I can to answer what you guys got for me. As I'm in that state where I am not officially like a weatherman or anything as of now, but it will certainly happen. It will certainly happen. And once I can get a car or something like that, then I will be able to storm chase for you guys and get you guys some of that great content too, while making sure not to be sucked up by a tornado. So for this last minute or two, basically I'll use this for any questions, comments, or concerns anyone else might have. I'll just read chat for the last little bit here, and I should let you guys know. I'd say there's a pretty decent chance that I will be live again later. So if you want to catch me, maybe around 8 or 9 at Central Time, I don't know for sure, but just depending on what the weather's doing. If it's something that's worthy to record, I will probably be live for you guys here in Bismarck, North Dakota, where we could see 3 to 6 inches. So we'll see if it all sticks, but obviously I will definitely record if there's something to record. Tim says, absolutely, so they won't tell you about that subject, tornadoes in Northern Europe. I didn't know there's tornadoes in Northern Europe. I had no idea, actually. Honestly, my thing is, too, I don't really know that much about the other world's weather. It's just specifically the U.S. weather, and I do know there is often there's things where it's kind of hard to explain, even for like meteorologists. There's weird patterns that happen that shouldn't be happening in nature. I definitely have to talk with my grandpa some more too, because he's definitely big into the weather manipulation theories and stuff like that too. So I definitely have to talk to him more about it and see what he has to say about it. Like I said, for me, I don't know that much as of right now. I'm just I lack the current like education on type of topic to start bringing in things about it, because I don't want to be saying things that are not true, like that's why a lot of times I keep some of my weather reports a little more vague at times. But a lot of times I will take notes from other people that are a lot more prestigious than myself, like whether it's Kevin Lawrence, whether it's Reed Timmer, whether Ryan Hall, y'all, or any of those high name meteorologists or storm chasers, because I trust what they have to say. Um, but I will usually, that is a loud car. I will usually add my own type of spin to it, so I'm not just reading what other people had to say, and so that I can actually bring something to the table. Because I don't know, I just like weather reporting. It's my type of thing. I love it. I love storms. I love storm chasing, everything like that. And mostly, I want to make sure you guys can get the content you can possibly get from me. So, and Tim said, I miss the conservatives in South Dakota and Upper Midwest. Yeah, I know that up here in our little chunk here, like North Dakota, South Dakota, Montana, I believe Wyoming. We're all pretty conservative up in this corner here. Definitely, it's just what comes natural here, and that's what I've been. In case anyone's wondering, that is what I am. That's what political party I align with. Is I am conservative. Um, that's what type of beliefs that I tend to follow more. But and although my big thing is I don't feel like it's extremely relevant what political party I'm supporting. Although, like I said, it is conservative. But I'm just trying to get you guys the best weather content I can. So if you guys appreciate that, then I appreciate you. But with that being said, um, I'm probably gonna wrap this stream up here. But thanks for everybody who came in, liked, commented, subscribed, and just sat in here for my streams. It is much appreciated. And with that being said, I'll read this last couple chats, and then I'll probably turn off the stream. And like I said, I might be live once again later. I'll have to see what the weather's doing. But Tim says, I went to Rice University. That was interesting, at least. I have never heard of that place. But yeah. Kate Fitter is saying, is Dickinson going to get any precipitation? Dickinson, not looking like super interesting, to be honest. Maybe I believe Dickinson was a trace to 2 to 3 inches. And like I was talking about before too, since grounds have been so warm, a lot of the precipitation, the snow that's going to fall is going to melt. So a lot of it is not going to really start building up. It's kind of going to melt a lot, honestly. Yeah, there's just a lot of factors. I could quickly go over them again. The sun angle is high, so the sun's energy will melt the snow quicker on contact with the ground, except when you got those heavy bands of storm or heavy bands of snow, and then the ground will get cold enough so it starts sticking. And then the ground itself is relatively warm considering the milder days lately. So since it has been so nice, the ground is still rather warm, and so it will take a little bit for the snow to actually start sticking again. And any rain will cut down snow totals. So if the rain's mixing with the snow, then again that will cut back down. And Rice is in Houston. Okay, I got you. Houston. But yeah, no, I don't. Definitely don't know all colleges around the world for sure. And even geography. So I'm trying to learn geography rather well, so I can become the best kind of weather reporter that I can for you guys. Bring you guys just the best content that I can give you at this current state. I do lack some of the resources to get you guys like, I don't know, storm chasing right now, but I am working on getting a car. to storm chase with, and get it insured, and maybe get some things for the front window so it doesn't just shatter right away when it starts to hail on it, because it is illegal to drive without a window. So I'm just gonna have to get to work, do a lot of different type of things to, get everything up and running. But with that being said, if there's, I'll just if there's any other quick comments, concerns, chats, or anything like that, then I will answer those now. I'll give you guys about a minute, but if not, I will probably shut off the stream and head to the gym. What's the spring weather outlook here in North Dakota? So I believe what was going on is there was like a lot of different types of things. I believe it was like what's going to happen is we're going to be in a La Nina transitioning to kind of a neutral state, right? So if you think of La Nina, El Ninos, La Nina means we have more precipitation in the north, right? So when we get to that new state, El Nino obviously means there's more precipitation and in the south, and El Nino also means, I believe, cooler in the north, and La Nina is warmer in the north. But I have looked at a couple different types of outlooks saying that we're probably going to have some drought conditions dominate the North Dakota region for this spring into the summer. Hopefully that's not the case, because I know that the drought conditions have already been piling up, especially in the western border of North Dakota near that Dickinson, Williston area. Especially, I believe we still have a extreme droughts just north of Dickinson. To make sure on that. And the problem is too, with this snow system coming in, you're not going to get that much relief there in that western border of North Dakota. So unfortunately, it's looking like this could be a kind of a drier spring into summer, but we'll have to see. We could have a couple systems that completely change that. Tim says, what do you do now? Study? Pretty much, yes. Right now, I'm going into my 4-year program to become a meteorologist. So right now, I'm just taking a lot of generals right now, and then I do have one meteorology class, and I love it. I'm definitely taking advantage of that, learning a lot of stuff, and I'm going to apply it to a lot of my videos, because I don't know, I just find it interesting. I take tons of notes in that class too, and overall, it has gotten me to learn a lot more different types of weather terms. Isn't Southwest North Dakota usually drier? Yeah, I believe it is actually. Yeah, Southwest North Dakota is definitely a lot more dry than the eastern half of North Dakota. And that also goes along with like severe weather potential. Also, understand thing that I have learned too is often the western North Dakota is a lot more at risk for large hail events, but as you progress across the state, so like Dickinson, Medora, stuff like that, then as you progress across the states, that will often turn into the wind events, right? So these supercellular storms will kind of merge and create those straight lines, and you can call them squall lines, derechos, and they will just go across the state. So definitely, Southwest North Dakota is definitely a lot more dry than the eastern counterpart. Where do I go? I go to Bismarck State College right now. Our is almost done, and then I will just, I don't know, I'll just kind of go wherever the weather takes me. But after Bismarck State College, that's a good question. I don't know exactly where I'm going to go yet. Whether it's maybe University of North Dakota or potentially even out of state, just kind of wherever I see the best opportunity, or while also being in a good position to get good storms. The nice thing about UND is they would get a lot more storms than here in Bismarck, just due to the nature of its location. But I definitely have rambled a lot more than I thought I would. We're about to reach that 40-minute mark, so Once again, I really appreciate everybody who came in, liked, commented, subscribed, and sat through the stream. Shout out to Tim, Cade, and Rachel. They were the three that were chatting throughout the stream today. But with being said, I'm probably going to go work out now. And like I said, I might be live again later. We'll have to see what the weather's doing. But until then, see you guys later.